Hello, and welcome back to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
I'm Sharon, and I'm scared. I'm with a witch.
You know what? It's Halloween. That's
Yeah.
why I put my green lips on.
Yeah,
You know,
she's a nice witch.
except for last night. We went to a Halloween party last night,
And I was a very tired pirate.
and I was a scary witch. But you all will see the videos or the pictures as well. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's enough about that. Welcome back.
Yes.
If this is your first time to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa, we ask that you like, subscribe, and share our videos. We would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not liking this green lipstick now that we've started, but it's okay. But anyway,
We can work with it. It's Halloween.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into today's topic, we will do our shoutouts. And just so you all know, we are recording at night.
Yes.
Not because it's Halloween, because we just ran out of time today.
Yeah. We were doing 10 other things and like,
Exactly.
got to
So,
get that video done.
yeah, we definitely had to do it. We could have done it on Monday, but y'all know it's Halloween. And
For real.
The doorbell will be ringing all
Absolutely.
night, so we don't have time for that.
We got treats.
But we don't want to let you all down either.
Right.
And on that note, we just want to put it out there that in December, Sharon and I will be taking a break. So just for the month of December, and I don't even know if it'll be the whole month, but yeah, so we will be taking a break.
Yeah, that's what the plan is right now.
Yeah, we just need to take some time for us.
Yeah, breathe, exhale,
and get some things done.
Start back over in the wonderful year of 2023.
Yeah. So we just need
So
to
let's
do
just
that.
do it, sweetie. Let's do it.
So our first shout out goes to Angels of Purpose. Thank you for being a subscriber. Next we have Stephanie M.
Yes.
Thank you for being a subscriber as well, and thank you for your comments. And last but not least is C Stone. Thank you. We thank all of you all for being subscribers to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa. We do have a lot of people who watch our videos who are not subscribers. So we just ask that one day you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And there's so many wonderful videos to choose from because, and I do like saying the numbers, but we do have over 115 videos out. So all kind of subjects that we have covered in the last almost 2.5 years. So there's a lot to choose from and plug in where you want. But, you know, the water's warm and come on in.
Yeah, thank you. So today we will be talking about masturbation. I'm going to give y'all a minute while you sit down before we get started.
Well, we've talked about everything else. I'm surprised we haven't discussed that, or at least I know we've alluded to it, but I mean, we've talked about safe sex, all kind of stuff, incest, politics, everything. Yeah. So why can't we talk about masturbation? And
absolutely. Yeah. And it's something that we do.
Right.
You know, whether we want to admit that or not.
Well, many of it, do. Right.
Most people I know do.
Right.
And some still haven't admitted, but I know some of them do.
I ain't trying to get in your business, but I'm saying, you know, it's a topic that I wanted to do, you know, a little bit more than Rosa did. But of course, we talked about so many subjects and, you know, very adult subjects. But I think we've been able to have the conversation with one another and to share those conversations with you. So why are we talking about masturbation now? And as Rosa keeps reminding me, because people do. Well,
people do masturbate. But why?
Yeah.
What are some of the reasons?
Before we go to the why, let's at least define, you know, what it is. Okay. A very short, succinct definition we'll use for the purpose of this video is masturbation is a conscious act of self-satisfaction that usually leads to sexual satisfaction. Now, that's short enough. All right.
Short enough.
And
it's true.
And
So,
yeah, it's true. So, as you say, okay, that's what it is, and why do people entertain themselves, or why do people masturbate? I can't put it any plainer than why. So, what do you think?
well, I think most people, not most people, some people,
Mm-hmm.
because there's different reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
May do it to relax themselves. You know, some people need to be relaxed. I know I need to be relaxed. I'm not saying that's the reason why I do it, or if I do it. I'm just saying. Also, I think people do it to release, tension,
Tension.
sometimes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are some of the things you would say?
Oh, I would say that, and it's a very
They like it too.
right. Yeah, surely they enjoy it. Yeah. But everyone doesn't admit to it. Many people do it, and there's something that you can know a person very well and never know that they do or do not do it. Why? Because it's very personal.
Right.
It should be.
Right.
All right. And there is definitely a high enjoyment level, and what has bothered me, and as I've had a conversation with Rosa, and little snippets, but we come back to it. In this society, it seems as though, this is my personal viewpoint on it, it seems as though it's expected and supported that men and males do that, and as though that women and girls are less sexual and that we don't do it.
Or
we
should
do.
be shameful.
Oh, should be right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like the little 11-year-old boy who gets caught masturbating. Like, not either you shouldn't do it at all, or don't let me see you do it, or that's personal, or boys will be boys. But what happens when it's a little girl or a young lady? We don't tell them girls will be girls. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. But that brings up a good point, because sometimes I think it's done to understand your body. So, as
discovery,
little
yes,
boys and girls are growing up, they're trying to, get this understanding of what is this? What?
It's curiosity right
Yeah.
there, and it's so normal, and it's so healthy, and I would hope that we get to a point that we evolve to the point as parents and step parents and aunties and uncles, that we take the shame. We don't play the shame blame game with with children who are
Right.
who are discovering their bodies, and what an awesome discovery it is.
But even as adults, we're discovering our bodies. I mean, you don't know some of the things that you like until you pleasure yourself. And then, you're able to share that with a partner if you're, dating or not dating at the time. You can still share it when you get a partner. But I think a lot of the times, we can figure out some of the things that we do like.
Oh, sure.
Even as adults.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
long before we're adults, just like, can you do that thing for me? Can you help me do that thing? and so what does this have to do? Our target audience is lesbian land and far beyond. So as an individual, as a couple, threesome, polyamorous people out there, however you're experiencing the physical parts of you. My question is, how many of us do it, and how do you feel about it, and how does your partner feel about it? Because that's oftentimes, people are in very healthy relationships. However, masturbation can be a very private thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let me tell you all that when I met Sharon, and
wait a minute now.
one of our conversations.
Well, we had been talking for a while.
Asked me, did I masturbate or something? And I said something like, I thought that was a little too soon, too quick, too soon type thing.
You thought it was very personal for the time? Yeah, it was personal.
We weren't really where we should be for that question. And I must have said, like, why? Do you? And she said, almost every day or something. And I'm like, who does that every day? Like,
well, you got to make time for things that's important. You brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you eat,
no, but
you pray. What? important is what's
It just
important
threw
to you.
me. It really did.
It did throw you, and very few
Yeah.
things throw you,
Yeah.
Rosa. Even though we were in the very early stages of our relationship, and we were just talking, having incredible conversations almost daily. And I didn't do it to stump the stars. You know, I was just wondering, actually, because I think it's such a healthy thing to do. Plus, you're telling me you don't have a partner or an exclusive person, and I was just wondering, like, you're raising 2 children, you got a job. I know you got stresses. But then also she's also a runner, and she'd go to the gym and work out. So there's many ways to relieve yourself and handle your stress, and I was just wondering, I had selfish motivations. I had selfish motivations.
You were just trying to be nosy in with selfish motivations,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and of course, I did. I definitely didn't do it every day. I wouldn't even say once a week, but
Because you didn't have time, or you didn't take the time.
But I was just thinking, like, who does that every day? Like, I just couldn't fathom in my mind.
And notice how she has held on to it.
Yeah, I just. Sharon, y'all know Sharon off the chain, so
Yeah.
there's not a lot of stuff.
Unchanged. This is Sharon Unchained, So again, we wanted to talk about the subject today. So whether you're with a partner, not or not, or seeking, or wherever you're at on the continuum, do you masturbate? Do you find it healthy to do it? Is it satisfactory to you? And I'm curious about people who are in long-term relationships, and how do you individually or as a couple deal with masturbation? Because sometimes, no 2 people do the same things at the same time. My experience.
Right.
All right. And what gets you to Hallelujah Land is different from how she gets there. But the thing is, do you when you do it, do you do it while you're by yourself? Do you invite your partner, or do you both do it separately? There's so many ways. There's so many.
Sure, you know that. But a lot of times I'm the I need my own space to do it type thing. I don't need an audience. I don't need, what I'm saying?
Well, I hope not.
I don't need for my partner to be there, because if my partner's there, I don't really need to masturbate. That's kind of how I feel like,
Interesting.
I have a partner, so if you're available, then I don't really need to masturbate. But if you're not, then I get it. And that's one of the things I think we didn't say either, was that a lot of times people masturbate when their partners are gone. So if Sharon's away on a trip or something and I'm home, then
if the need arises, and surely just ditto for me. So that's what we wanted to talk about.
You need your own space, ditto, or you need...
No, ditto for me. When your partner's not home, but there's times when you are around, but you may be preoccupied. I don't know why that's so funny to Rose.
It's funny because I have been there when she's...
So evidently, this is more for us than y'all. So give us a minute, okay?
And we don't mean to take it lightly or laugh about it, but when you think about, you as a couple and the things that go on, it's just funny to me. It's funny.
Okay, haha.
But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's not to be sorry about it. I'm just glad we're having the conversation. So just a couple of questions that we want to run to, run by you and hear. We would love to hear from you guys about your perception of it, your experience with it. Is just about everyone does it, and the ones who say they're not are lying.
They may not want to admit it, because honestly, when Sharon asked me the time I was telling you all when we were talking about it, I didn't want to admit it. That's why I was just like, why?
But you admit to sit? Yeah, no. I didn't ask you any rough questions, but
no, and that's not a rough question.
No.
I'm saying, you're saying, everybody do it, and they probably do, because if you think about it, I really don't know anybody who, if you ask them just in conversation, they may admit to it, but
well, first of all, let's be very clear. it's not our business. Okay, you know me. But if you had that kind of relationship that would have,
but it is. No,
yeah,
just kidding.
that would afford you those, those kind of questions, and just like, would you discuss it with your best friend, not your sexual partner, but your best friend? You're like, girl, I ran out of batteries, and girl, they got a coupon, whatever,
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I mean, it's not a secret, and it's
Right,
surely in my mind. In this day and time, is surely nothing to be ashamed of. But
Absolutely.
how do you guys do, especially to our friends who have children? How do you address it with your children? What do you do? Let's say you have a 10-year-old son or 8-year-old daughter or a 12-year-old daughter. You know what I mean? Is that too early for? Do y'all think it's too early for them to be expressing themselves that way or discovering themselves? And believe me, this has nothing to do with you and you. It's nature.
Right.
Who
right.
wouldn't be curious?
Well, let me just answer a little bit of that since I do have 2 children. But as a mom, I knew when my children started to trying to
Explore.
explore themselves and learn their bodies and stuff. So you know, as a mom, what your kids are doing. I never discussed that with them because I think it's a good thing that they are doing that, and I wanted them to have something for themselves, like you don't need to discuss everything with your mother. As much as I want to know everything, they don't need to discuss everything. But we did have sex discussions. So I wanted them to know what the difference was, of that and masturbation. And there is a difference. But I didn't necessarily ask them questions about, because I didn't want them to know that I knew in the first place.
Right. Okay.
Because that shuts people down when they automatically think that and they're embarrassed by it.
Right.
And I didn't want them to think it was anything to be embarrassed about. But yeah. So that's like a fine line. Like,
okay.
I don't think as a mom I needed to discuss that particular topic with them. I knew that they were masturbating at some point, but I just had other conversations with them when it came to sex and stuff.
Interesting. Well, let me ask you this: did you, because you have a boy and a girl, so did you discuss things differently with son? That you did with girl, with your daughter? So you see what I'm saying? I mean.
I only discuss things differently not because of their sex,
okay.
but because of their learning and understanding degree. My son's degree of understanding was a little different from my daughter's degree of understanding, and plus we all know that girls mature mentally faster than
as a norm,
than
sure,
most guys do, and my son was already a little delayed. So it was more because of that.
Okay.
I just approached it as I saw fit for them, for each child, because we know that each child is different, even though they both belong to you, or both, all your kids belong to you, but at the same time, I just approached it that way.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. And so now that they are older, son is 16 and daughter's nearly 20. So it's a question and a statement. My statement is, I feel that sometimes we'll put more emphasis on sex and skip over masturbation. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I talked to her about, what is it? Birth control. I've talked to her about this. I've talked to her about STDs. But did you ever talk to your daughter about masturbation?
Yeah, but masturbation is a private thing, and that's
isn't sex?
No, sex is between you and somebody.
Well, that's
so
okay, but it's still your business.
Masturbation is just you, and you don't have to tell who you don't want to tell or do whatever you want to do. But sex is different because others are always involved. So it's like you can't have sex by yourself. So to me, that's just different. So that's why I had sex talks with them, but not necessary masturbation. That's just me.
Let me
Now,
just
y'all
push
can-
back there. So I mean, one could make the argument that masturbation, on some level, is sex with yourself, or definitely. I mean, it achieves
And it probably can. I mean, they can't argue that because, in a sense, I can see why some would think that, but it's still your individual thing. Like, you don't have to tell anybody. You walk out the room and nobody needs to know what you just did.
Right.
But if you had sex, somebody else knows
Those
what
are-
you did
'cause
because
they
they
were
was with
there.
you.
Right. Okay,
So
I
to
hear it.
me, it's just different
Okay, that's
in a sense.
I hear you. I hear. I find that's a little simplistic, but I just think, and I'm sure I don't mean that as a critique.
No, I don't.
No, I'm not saying, but okay. So as I hear it from you, and I've never heard you say that before, I'm throwing it back out there to lesbian land and far beyond. What, if any, is the conversations that you're having with your children about masturbation, and have you already talked to them, or do you talk to them about sex and what it is and safety and the funny feelings that they're feeling? Have you talked about that, the birds and the bees kind of thing, as they used to say? And if you have, why haven't you talked to your children about masturbation? Now that's for the parents out there. Now for you, jump in. The engine's already running kind of people. You're in a relationship and y'all sexing regularly. Do you talk to your partner about masturbation? Because we know what you're doing sexually, but what are you doing, that piece, which could be very, very private, or you can say join in, or let me help you get to where you need to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting because it's not a common conversation, but it surely is an interesting one. Like some people is like, I can talk about this, I can talk about that, but let's not touch. Don't open that door.
Right.
So anyhow, I just that's the question, and that's the conversation for today. Masturbation.
But I think when we talk about when you were saying earlier too, how it's okay, it's been okay in society when we talk about masturbation for guys, and it's not okay for girls. I don't think guys thinks it's okay. I mean, I don't know any guys having conversations about them, as they say, beating their meat. I don't, I think they're a little reserved to talk about it too, because they want to have this macho thing, like, I got this girl, I got that girl, I don't have to do that, type thing. I think they just view it a little different. And if there's some guys out here watching, definitely chime in, let me know. But that's kind of how I take that.
That's interesting, because no, that's not where I'm at on that one either. But that's interesting. That's a different point of view. I didn't think you wanted to say that, but not that I don't know what men talk about to each other. I mean,
Right.
on that level, you know what I mean? Oh, I do it, you do it. Well, if
Well,
you've been out,
they talk about grabbing them by the pussies. No, just kidding.
Please, I'm gonna need a minute.
Hey, that's what
not masturbation.
That's what y'all asked your
yeah.
former president talk about. But hey,
Truly not masturbation. But if you're hetero and you and a bunch of guys, y'all been away from women for quite a while, it's just expected, maybe, and accepted, or maybe even known that that's what you do in the meanwhile. It's going to be a whole lot of self-love going on there for a minute, but I don't know. I just don't. I just think I think it's known but not discussed. It's expected but not discussed.
Yeah.
However, so is sex with a partner, and people laugh about that, joke about it, crack about it, and all that. But not that masturbation is not normal, but it's just sexual relations is normal, and it seems to be okay to talk about and make fun of, or like, I got 3 babes, or I got 3 men, whatever the bravado takes you to. So I don't know. So why does masturbation is still a little hidden? You know what I mean? And I assure you, the conversations you have about it, whether it's son and daughter or friends or people, the conversations that we have with girls is different than we had with males. and that's my issue. You know, as though we're
But
less.
that's only because society puts that on us to have it. You know, I mean, I wanted to raise my children as, you know, as equal as possible. You know, each of them are different, but they are still, you know, we never looked at sex things. My son was wearing pink since he was born. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, you know, he has to wear blue and she got to wear pink.
Right,
was just,
right.
You know, I just laid it all out there. He played with his sister's dolls for a little while, you know, and she played with trucks for a little while. So I think in our minds consciously, we think about society and how they break stuff up, you know, under sex. You know, it's either girl or boy. You know, when you're having a baby, everybody's doing the reveal parties. You know, you want to know if it's a boy or girl. You know it's gonna be a boy or girl. It's a
one or the other. Right. Yeah, I don't get all that.
Something that surprised me is like, who the baby gonna look like? You know, it could look like your great grandmother from 2 generations ago, or it could look like you. You know, I mean, so that's the surprise. The surprise is not whether it's gonna be a boy or girl. We know it's gonna be one or the other. Right.
You know, well, which is
So I mean, I think in society everybody gets so wrapped up in that, and that's why, you know, the big reveals are now big now, because everybody's like, oh, I gotta have one too. I gotta know. I gotta, you know, it's just, that's just who we are.
Okay.
Humans,
so we've moved, I think, as they say, moved the needle, you know, all these isms and colloquialisms of today. But I think things have moved and progressed quite a bit. And yet some things have painfully stayed the same or still not totally rinsed out. So this is what we're going to do. We don't have to beat this forever. This is our conversation for today. And here's our questions is, hey, you know, what are your attitudes about masturbation? Did your parents or whoever raised you, did they talk about masturbation to you? And if you're in a relationship, do you talk about masturbation with your partner? If you're alone, it ain't our business, but talk to us anyhow.
It is not our business.
Yeah, but seriously, you know, because so many questions, I mean, so many statements and feedback, a lot of feedback will come to us surely on this one.
Yeah.
But we're interested.
But one of the things I thought about, because y'all know this is Sharon's topic, right? Okay.
I'm just curious.
No, I know. But one of the things when she said that, I thought about, I'm like, well, who wants to admit that at this point where we're going through so much with just political with our bodies and, you know, being in control and, you know, not being in control, or government having control, or whatever the issues that's going on with the whole Roe versus Wade and, you know, do we have, you know, permission to even masturbate at this point? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot like, it's like if you admit it today, is that something that's going to come back
right
tomorrow?
Is it outlawed tomorrow? Yeah, exactly. Because
So,
you know, people want to get all in your business and tell you what to do with your body and your concerns. So that's another conversation, and I don't think y'all ready for that one. All right. So so do us a favor, you know, tell us what you think about the subject, and tell me how things go in your life. You know, where you at. You know, because yes, it is personal, but I feel like we're friends now. You know, we've been talking for over 100 videos, so about some very personal things. So we're grown, we can handle it, and it's just interesting. And I also just want to know, is my thinking so different from what, you know, I got questions, and maybe you got the same questions, and we can chat about it, okay?
Absolutely. But before we go, do you have any announcements?
Announcements is this week. Oh, yeah, that's right. This Friday night in North Hollywood at the Comedy Chateau. I will be appearing in person. Hey, Sharon Cartier. That's my stage name. If you're in the neighborhood or around it, please come on and check out the show. And Rosa's already told you that we're looking at, as far as putting out the videos, we're looking at making the whole month of December dark. Because
it's a holiday time.
We got a lot of things to do. Yeah, we're in and out of town, and it's the holidays. So if that's okay with you guys, and we're going to be doing some changes to the format in the coming year, and I think that's all I have.
That is it.
I'm with a witch today. What can I say?
Well, I hope you all enjoyed the conversation, but I will attach our Halloween party so you all can see me as a real witch.
Oh, she can be one.
You know what? And you know, then you can see Sharon too, because she really was a tired pirate. So we had a good time. But enjoy that as well, and thank you so much.
Yeah, as always, we're wishing you the very best
of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke. And happy Halloween. And if you celebrated a birthday in October, happy birthday, because we forgot to even shout out the birthdays for October. So happy birthday.
Yes.
We love you.
Take care, Scorpios. Take care. Bye-bye.